Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of our official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. As a reminder, civilians should place their right hand over their heart when the national anthem is played, and military in uniform should stand at attention. Thank you to the Air Force Band of Flight and to the 88th Air Base Wing Honor Guard. Chaplain Fussell will now deliver the invocation.
Will you bow your heads and pray with me? Almighty God, as we gather here at the National Museum of the United States Air Force this evening to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work and dedication, we come before you with hearts full of gratitude and praise. We thank you for guiding each graduate of the Air Force Institute of Technology's Graduate School of Engineering and Management on their journey to this momentous occasion. Blessed be the faculty, staff, and administrators who have tirelessly poured out their knowledge, wisdom, and heart into the lives of these graduates. May their efforts continue to inspire and shape future generations of leaders in engineering and management. We lift up each graduate before you, O Lord, as they step into the next chapter of their lives. Grant them the courage, strength, and wisdom to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. May they always strive for excellence, integrity in all they do, honoring the values instilled in them during their time at this esteemed institution. Guide their footsteps, O Lord, as they embark on paths of service and innovation, whether in the air or on the ground. May they use their skills and knowledge for the greater good, making a positive impact on our world and upholding the values of the Air Force. As they receive their diplomas, may they be reminded of your unfailing love and grace that have brought them to this moment. May they go forth with hearts filled with gratitude and minds eager for learning and spirits ready to serve. We ask for your blessings upon this graduation ceremony, Lord. May it be a joyous occasion of achievements past and a hopeful send-off for those adventures yet to come. May your presence be felt among us, filling us and this place with peace, joy, and inspiration. It's in your holy name I pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we are especially proud to have the families and friends of the graduating students with us this evening. Tonight we will be awarding 198 master's degrees and 4 Doctor of Philosophy degrees. 2 of our graduates will receive dual master's degrees. This graduating class includes 130 Air Force officers, 27 Space Force officers, 6 Marine Corps officers, 4 Army officers, 4 Air Force enlisted, and 19 Department of Defense civilians. We are also pleased to note that we have graduates from the Royal Australian Air Force, the Royal Bahraini Land Forces, Brazilian Air Force, 2 graduates from the Israeli Air Force, 4 from the Royal Saudi Air Force, and 1 civilian graduate from the Federal Republic of Germany. Additionally, we have 5 doctoral students who have previously graduated returning to participate in this evening's commencement ceremony to be formally hooded, and 1 master's degree student returning for today's ceremony. Now, on the behalf of AFIT's Director and Chancellor, Dr. Walter Jones, I am pleased to present the members of the official party. Please hold your applause until all introductions have been made. Our guest of honor, Dr. Mark Lewis, Chief Executive Officer, Purdue Applied Research Institute, and former Chief Scientist of the Air Force. Dr. Walter Jones, AFIT Director and Chancellor. Dr. Heidi Reese, AFIT Provost and Chief Academic Officer. Colonel Sarah Isbell, Commander, Air University Detachment 1. Dr. Muhammad Rahman, Dean, Graduate School of Engineering and Management. Lieutenant Colonel Chris Weimer, Department Head, Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Dr. Mark Reeder, Head, Department of Astronautics and Aeronautics. Dr. Kenneth Hopkinson, Head, Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Colonel Nathan Terry, Head, Department of Engineering Physics. Dr. Michael Gramala, Head, Department of Systems Engineering and Management. And our Grand Marshal this evening, Dr. William Cunningham, Head, Department of Operational Sciences. Let's give them a round of applause. We wish to thank all other distinguished guests that were able to be with us tonight in person and online. Please join me in welcoming them. It is now my honor to present Dr. Walter Jones, Director and Chancellor, Air Force Institute of Technology.
Well, thanks, Colonel Willis, and again, welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for being with us to share this very special occasion here for our graduates and our faculty as well. It is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker for this evening, Dr. Mark Lewis. Dr. Lewis has a long career of teaching and service, and if I tried to mention all of his positions, there would be no time left for his remarks. In fact, as I put together this introduction, I realized that even Wikipedia could not keep up with Dr. Lewis. And I know Wikipedia doesn't yet, that Dr. Lewis is currently serving as the founding executive director of the Purdue Applied Research Institute. And we are really excited about Purdue University's increased focus on national security, and we at AFIT look forward to working even more closely with Dr. Lewis and our many colleagues at Purdue. And just a bit of history, Dr. Lewis and I first met when I was at the Air Force Office of Scientific Research and Mark was at the University of Maryland. While at Maryland, Dr. Lewis served on the Air Force Scientific Advisory Board and also later served as the chief scientist for the U.S. Air Force. Dr. Lewis is an internationally recognized expert in hypersonics, and of course we look forward to working with him in this region as well, in this area as well. After that, Dr. Lewis later serves as director of the Science and Technology Policy Institute, providing advice and expertise to the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. He then returned to the Pentagon in 2019 as Director of Defense Research and Engineering for Modernization, including time as Acting Deputy Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering. And then before assuming his current position at Purdue, Mark led the NDIA Emerging Technologies Institute. Dr. Lewis is a graduate of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, who, like the Air Force Institute of Technology, failed to make the field of 64 for the March Madness basketball exercise. I mean, we understand here. I think Purdue made it in though, right? So you're, yeah, we don't follow that too closely. It's all good. So again, I am so delighted that Mark could find time from all of his important activities to be here with us tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Dr. Mark Lewis. Mark.
Well, let's see. So Chancellor Jones, Provost Rees, Colonel Isbell, Dean Rahman, directors, faculty, students, and most especially distinguished graduates, as long as your family and friends and honored guests. First, it's an incredible honor to be here with you because of what you represent and what you have accomplished, and more importantly, what you will accomplish for your services and for your nations. I would submit to you that it is incredibly fitting that we're having this celebration in this museum, because this is really a testament to some incredible accomplishments, but also some occasional failures. And those failures can sometimes be as important as the accomplishments, and I suspect each and every one of you has had a mix of some of those on your career, on your road to completing your degree at AFIT. So first and foremost, I want to congratulate all of you on your accomplishments, and more importantly, I want to thank you because you are dedicating yourselves, your technical skills, your talents, your analytical abilities to the defense of freedom, to the national defense of our nations. And that is a very special gift that you are giving back to our countries. So thank you for that. If I could, I'd like to reflect a little bit on why what you're doing is so important and why your degrees are so important. And I would argue that sometimes it's good to take a view, step back, think about why we do what we do. And in order to do that, I want to do a little bit of a history lesson, and no better place to do that than in the Museum of the Air Force. So I want to take you back to the mid-1930s. The U.S. Army Air Corps had a number of air power theorists who were thinking through how aviation would be used in what they presumed would be the next war. And unfortunately, they were quite prescient that there was a war coming. Remember, the 1930s were a time of considerable turmoil. You had a dictator who was marching across Europe, invading countries without provocation. In Asia, you had a country that was in many cases brainwashed its citizens, was also invading other countries. The world was very much on the brink of war, and we had air power theorists who were thinking about how an air force, originally an Air Corps, but ultimately an Air Force, would factor into modern warfare. In the mid-1930s, the Army Air Corps decided that they needed a successful, a capable, long-range bomber. And so they began a competition. It was held right here at Wright Field. They called on the lead aviation companies at the time in the United States to develop a bomber, and the plan was to have a fly-off. And so 3 companies entered that competition: the Douglas Airplane Corporation, the Martin Airplane Corporation, and the Boeing Airplane Corporation. Now, interestingly, Boeing was not in the first part of that competition. They were not initially admitted. So Boeing spent their own money to build a prototype airplane. And the airplane that they built was something called the Model 299. Now, the story gets very interesting, because when they were doing the fly-off, not far from where we're standing, the engineers of the Army Air Corps immediately recognized that the Boeing airplane was a superior airplane. Superior range, superior speed, superior armament. And then in one of the test flights, the Boeing airplane crashed. The Model 299 crashed. It turned out it was due to a control flap that had been misstepped, but the rules of the competition said that if you crashed, you were immediately eliminated. So the 299 was out. And the Army Air Corps wound up choosing the Douglas entry, which became an airplane called the B-18, nicknamed the Bolo. You can see a Bolo. If you go down that corridor and make a right, you can see the Bolo. It is a butt-ugly airplane. Sorry, am I allowed to say that at graduation? Okay. In aviation, we have a saying, looks good, flies right. This airplane doesn't look good, and it didn't fly right. By rules, it was chosen, but it was never a successful airplane. But here's where the story gets really interesting. There were some very clever acquisition officers in the Army Air Corps. They found a loophole. They bought more versions of the Model 299. Engineers in the Army Air Corps tested it. They saw the superiority, and they ultimately wound up buying that airplane. That airplane became the B-17. It was the mainstay bomber for the United States Army Air Corps. There's a beautiful example also in that same exhibit hall, the Memphis Belle. For those of you aviation fans who've seen the recent Apple TV show, Masters of the Air, it features the B-17 in all of its glory. Amazing example of first engineers who saw the brilliance of a design, understood the value of a design, and then acquisition officers who didn't cross the line, but they pushed it up to its edge in order to make that happen. As a note, by the end of World War II, when they stopped producing B-17s, no fewer than 12,713 B-17s had been built. Everyone kind of forgot the B-18 that won the competition. No offense to the Douglas Airplane Corporation, but the Boeing airplane won the day. Now, here's what happened on the other side of the Atlantic, and this is also an important part of the story. At almost the exact same time that the U.S. Army Air Corps was evaluating its new purchases, the German Luftwaffe was going through the same strategic planning. In fact, in 1935, Germany appointed a general by the name of Walter Weber to be, and apologies to the native German speakers, I know I mangled that name, but Walter Weber was appointed as the chief of staff of the German Luftwaffe, and he was a fan of long-range bombing. He wanted the Luftwaffe to buy big airplanes with lots of engines that could go long distance and be fully armed. And then in 1936, General Weber was in an airplane crash and died, and his successors immediately reversed all of his decisions. They got rid of the plans for large long-range bombers, and they focused on small bombers. And think of the consequences of that. When World War II starts, we have a bomber fleet with long-range capability that could strike deep into the heart of an adversary's territory, whereas the Germans did not have that. Imagine how different the Battle of Britain, for example, would have been if Germany had made those investments. Thank God they didn't. So what's my point in this? The point is, these decisions matter. And each and every one of you in this room will in some way touch future decisions that will also matter, and that will shape the future of warfare. one way or the other, that will determine whether we are successful in future conflict, or, even more importantly, whether we can deter future conflict. All right? So these things absolutely matter. Now let me fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about the world that we're in today. You know, as I said, the 1930s, the world was on the brink of war. We had a dictator marching into other countries. We had a country in Asia that had designs on other countries. Sound familiar? That's exactly the situation we face today. We've got a dictator in Russia who has marched into Ukraine without any provocation. We see China making open designs on Taiwan. They're rather bold about it. They don't even try to hide the fact that they intend to reunify, or some would argue unify, Taiwan with the mainland. And so we're faced with very, very similar choices. In some ways, our world is more complicated. There are many more technologies that we have to worry about, that we have to think about, that could impact the future of warfare. Modernization technologies, things like artificial intelligence, cyber technologies, quantum technology, hypersonics, the area that I've spent much of my career working in, directed energy. All of these will be critical to the future fight. And I would submit to you that in each and every one of these technical areas, we are in a race. We are racing with competitors to make sure that we are the first to field those effectively and get them in the hands of our warfighters. And once again, that is a burden and a task that I think will fall on all of your shoulders. All right? That's something you all need to be focused about. How are we doing in that? Well, we're facing some pretty stiff competition. In some areas, for example, in hypersonics, I'll even submit that we have peer competitors who have exceeded our capabilities. Right? They have deployed systems. China and Russia both have deployed systems when we're still in the developmental stage, which, by the way, is extremely frustrating since this is a field that we, the United States, invented. It's easy to be discouraged when we look at these challenges. We hear numbers such as the mainland China is outproducing us in weaponry. They're rapidly building up their nuclear capabilities. They're producing ships at a rate of about 3 times the rate at which we are producing ships. That sounds very, very concerning. Well, I don't want you to be totally discouraged. And the reason I don't want you to be discouraged is all the people in this room. All right, look to your right, look to your left. That is the future. And look in a mirror. That is the future that's going to make sure that our nation is the nation that succeeds. And let me give you some uplifting news, some uplifting statistics. So, one measure of a nation's success is the scientific productivity of that nation. Not the only measure, but it's one measure. And one of the ultimate measures of that scientific productivity is the Nobel Prize. So let me quote some numbers to you about the Nobel Prize. Since the inception of that prize, there have been 800 and some odd Nobel Prize winners. Some of the prizes are given to multiple winners, so it's about 400 some odd prizes total, but about 800 winners. The United States makes up less than 5% of the world's population. United States scientists have won 46% of the Nobel Prizes. All right, so let that number sink in. Now here's another interesting statistic about that. Of that 46%, roughly a third of those recipients came to the United States from another country. They're the best and the brightest from around the world who came to our nation and became a part of our S&T enterprise. Now, how does that stack up to other countries? The next closest country is actually the United Kingdom, about 15%. Germany, about 12%. Russia, about 3%. Mainland China, the country that we consider to be our pacing competitor right now, less than 1% of the Nobel Prizes that have been awarded. Now, is that the only metric? Of course not. There are lots and lots of metrics, lots and lots of measures. But I think it's one indication that our nation, and I actually want to say our nations working together, our nations with a shared sense of the importance of democratic values, of freedoms, of entrepreneurship, our nations ultimately will succeed. We have to succeed because of people such as yourselves with the capabilities and the skills and the talents. So again, let me offer my congratulations to you. My congratulations to your families and your friends that have supported you. This is an incredibly important accomplishment. This is something that you've done for yourselves, more importantly, something that you've done for your respective services. something that you've done for your nations, something that you've done for an alliance of nations that stands for freedom, that stands for all the values that were the founding basis of our nation. And with that, let me congratulate you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all receive your diplomas. Thank you so much.
Mark, thank you very much for those insightful words. I'm sure each of our graduates will find wisdom in your remarks and that they can use in the next assignment and throughout their careers. Now, I would like to now present you with a special gift here. Whoops.
It's an empty bag.
Hang with me for just a minute. Anyway, there we are.
Okay.
Here's a special. I knew there was one under here someplace. So, Mark, let me present you with this special gift to commemorate our time together.
Great.
And so you remember AFIT and its important mission. And again, another round of applause. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Sure. And there's one more thing. Don't go away just yet. And then one last thing. I'm sure that you've received many mementos throughout your career, but we want to make absolutely sure that you leave here with an appropriate amount of AFIT swag and souvenirs for your home and office. So I'm pleased on behalf of the AFIT Foundation to present to you this goodie bag that is filled with AFIT swag and other great AFIT stuff. I might add that this same bag of AFIT goodies from the AFIT Foundation will be presented to each of our graduates tonight. So that's an important one too. Thank you. Again, Mark, we really appreciate you being here tonight. I look forward to helping presenting these diplomas to our amazing graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for Dr. Mark Lewis.
Dr. Reese and Dr. Rahman, please present the candidates for degree.
Congratulations, graduates. Will the candidates for graduation from the Graduate School of Engineering and Management please rise and remain standing? Chancellor Jones and Provost Rees, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have completed all requirements for graduation in accordance with the recommendations of the Academic Standards Committee and the Faculty Council of the Graduate School of Engineering and Management. I present these candidates for conferral of degrees and award of diplomas.
Thank you, Dean Rahman. Dr. Jones, as Provost and Chief Academic Officer of the Air Force Institute of Technology, I confirm that the candidates presented by the Dean of the Graduate School of Engineering and Management have met all academic requirements of the Air Force Institute of Technology for award of their respective degrees. In addition to confirming their record of academic achievement, I also affirm these candidates have demonstrated the virtues of integrity, character, and commitment to service required of all graduates of the Air Force Institute of Technology. I therefore recommend these candidates for conferral of degrees and award of diplomas.
Thank you, Provost Reese. Then, based on the presentation of these students by the Dean of the Graduate School of Engineering and Management and the confirmation and recommendation of the Provost, by virtue of the authority vested in me on behalf of the President and Commander of Air University and by federal law, the degrees are hereby conferred. Graduates, please be seated. And Dr. Lewis, please join me on the stage to congratulate AFIT's newest graduates as they receive their degrees.
Each student, please step forward as your name is called. from the Department of Mathematics and Statistics with a Master of Science in Applied Mathematics, Second Lieutenant Stacy Renee Davis.
Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Master of Science in Computer Engineering, Second Lieutenant Dawson Friesenhahn, United States Space Force, distinguished graduate. First Lieutenant Ludwig Beza Oliver. Second Lieutenant Sean Emelin Leo Cataro, United States Space Force, winner of the Navigation Research Excellence Award. First Lieutenant Charles Rocket. Master of Science Computer Engineering, Mr. Travis D. York. Master of Science Computer Science, Major Anthony Brunson, winner of the Ivan B. Thompson Award. Mr. Alan Dukes. Second Lieutenant Christian Grauberger. Captain Peterson Hansen. Captain Michael Larkin Hastreiter, Jr. Second Lieutenant Takashi Zubair. Second Lieutenant Joshua Krutz, United States Space Force. Second Lieutenant Luke James McFadden. Captain Dang Kwa Nguyen. First Lieutenant Kevin B. Patterson. Mr. Blake Perkins. Second Lieutenant Tanner Ethan Todd. Second Lieutenant Jim Sungguo Wang. Captain Jordan S. Williamson. Technical Sergeant Mason Dean Wright. Master of Science Cyber Operations, Captain Courtney J. Fleming, winner of the Cyberspace Research Excellence Award, distinguished graduate. Captain Jeffrey Knight, distinguished graduate. Captain Aaron J. Morath. Second Lieutenant Lauren Jean Poosman. Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Second Lieutenant Jason Anthony Burdett, United States Space Force. Captain Benjamin Fingerly. Second Lieutenant Zachary Legg. Captain Kurt Meyer. Captain Nat Thomason, Royal Australian Air Force. Captain Alexander Jeffrey Weber. Master of Science, Electrical Engineering, Captain Moriel Gindi, Israeli Air Force, winner of the Dean's Award for this department and distinguished graduate.
Department of Engineering Physics, Captain Kyle Stanford. Captain Natalie Worth. Captain Scott Wolf. Master of Science, Materials Science, Captain Vivian Hedberg. Master of Science in Nuclear Engineering, Second Lieutenant Braden Buckley. Mr. Matthew Earl. Major Tyler Halbert. Second Lieutenant Lucas Heaton, winner of the American Nuclear Society Thesis Award. Major David Pert, United States Army, winner of the Mervyn E. Gross Award, the Measure and Signals Intelligence Committee Academic Excellence Award, the Tau Beta Pi Thesis Award, and distinguished graduate. Major Ian Corapat, United States Army. Second Lieutenant Dustin Rogers. First Lieutenant Caleb Sapp. Mr. Christopher Smith. Captain Matthew Stone. Master of Science Applied Physics, First Lieutenant Seth Bacon. Second Lieutenant Noah Everett. Second Lieutenant Robert Hall III. Second Lieutenant Seth Orson, winner of the Best Light-Based Thesis. Captain Eli Parsh. Captain Jackson Pichowski. First Lieutenant Marco Pirozoli, distinguished graduate. First Lieutenant Kyle Roberts. First Lieutenant Jacob Green.
The Department of Operational Sciences, Master of Science in Data Science, Second Lieutenant, Madison Elizabeth Hoffman. Second Lieutenant Paige Lubering. Second Lieutenant Taylor Markham. Second Lieutenant Alexander William Milham, also a distinguished graduate. Second Lieutenant Sung Yong Oh. Second Lieutenant Connor Oswald. Second Lieutenant Victor Ray. Captain Jung H. Ye. Now the Master of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Captain Abdulaziz Abdullah Al-Jalama, Royal Bahrain Land Forces. Captain Nasser Al-Rashid, Royal Saudi Air Force. Major Salih Ahmed Al-Shuri, Royal Saudi Air Force. Captain Caitlin M. Barton. Major Clay Howard Chafin, distinguished graduate. Captain Eric S. Drought. Captain Rodrigo Silva Campos de Moura, Brazilian Air Force. Captain Carlina M. Ostrand, winner of the Lieutenant Edward E. Aldrin Senior Award. Captain Gregory A. Picardi. Captain Daniel L. Straw, Jr. The Master of Science in Operations Research, Second Lieutenant Merrick Ann Bedford. Captain Jacob F. Bryant, distinguished graduate. Major Ori Ka Kamo, Israeli Air Force, distinguished graduate. Second Lieutenant Maria Chiedzoy. Second Lieutenant William Clay. Mr. Joshua Daniel Combs. Second Lieutenant Grant Richard Engel. Second Lieutenant Colin Wayne Foley. Second Lieutenant Noah Fox. Second Lieutenant Leighton Christopher Hedge. Second Lieutenant Michael Kumura Kaminsky. Second Lieutenant Philip Michael Coyne. Major Daniel M. Crizzen, United States Army. Captain Jacob Scott Lang. Second Lieutenant Kathleen McLean. Ms. Samantha Kelly O'Rourke. Second Lieutenant Jacob Joseph Ross Pike, winner of the Dean's Award for our department. Second Lieutenant George Valeka. Second Lieutenant Ebony N. Williams. Captain Luke G. Wunderlich, United States Space Force.
Department of Systems Engineering and Management, Masters of Science, Acquisition and Program Management, Captain Joshua J. Buenavisuto, United States Space Force. First Lieutenant Caitlin A. Clements. Captain John Cleveland Gillespie II. Second Lieutenant Hart Jacob Holt. First Lieutenant Holden J. Holt. Captain Kyle P. Marcus, winner of the Project Management Institute Thesis Award. Captain Todd L. Maillard, distinguished graduate. Second Lieutenant Anthony J. Neal, United States Space Force. Captain Ryan L. Savigny, United States Space Force. Captain Michael T. Shutlock. Second Lieutenant Jacob D. Thomas, United States Space Force. First Lieutenant Casey P. Wood, United States Space Force. Masters of Engineering, Applied Systems Engineering, Mr. Theodore W. Cremines, Jr. Mr. Ivan J. Sanchez Pedraza. Masters of Science, Cost Analysis, Captain Dustin Brewer, distinguished graduate. First Lieutenant Ryan Anthony Candela. First Lieutenant Andrew H. Chung. Captain Carla Jessica Cisneros, Dr. Anthony D'Angelo Student Leadership Award. First Lieutenant Colin Andrew Gwaltney, United States Space Force. Second Lieutenant Ryan J. Jansen. First Lieutenant Brian N. Palmer. First Lieutenant Izel N. Reyes. Second Lieutenant Shane Austin Scantling. Second Lieutenant David K. Smith, winner of the International Cost Estimating and Analysis Association Thesis Award. First Lieutenant Dawson Joseph Visconi. Mr. Bradley Lam Vu. Master of Science and Engineering Management, Captain Juan Sebastian Alb. Captain Aljan Kayab Barago. Second Lieutenant Michael L. Berg. Captain John Matthew Diskin, United States Marine Corps, winner of the George K. Dichtroff Award. Captain Bethany Marie Dorian, winner of the Dean's Award for the Department and Distinguished Graduate. Captain Victoria Grolau. Captain Wei Bin Guan. Captain Alan Hang. Second Lieutenant William Hunter, distinguished graduate. Second time's a charm. So, Second Lieutenant William Hunter, distinguished graduate. Captain Ryan Jakovich. Captain Zachary Isaac Johnson, United States Marine Corps. Captain Sean Ryan McCarty, winner of the Society of American Military Engineers Award. Major Christopher A. Morales, distinguished graduate. Captain Peter John Spinks, United States Marine Corps. Second Lieutenant Evan John Ward. Captain Richard Hayden Wilkins. Master Science Engineering Management, First Lieutenant Timothy M. DeYoung. Captain Maria J. Arato, United States Marine Corps. Captain Christina L. Johnson. Captain Ryan David Lalonde, United States Marine Corps. Technical Sergeant Lauren R. Manofi. Captain Aaron Neal, United States Marine Corps. Captain Benjamin David Reben. Technical Sergeant Jesse Candy Sorzano. Staff Sergeant Stephen A. Torres, winner of the Secretary James G. Roche Award. Master of Science in Systems Engineering, Captain Aaron J. Gettaneri, United States Space Force Distinguished Graduate. Captain Justin T. Moore. First Lieutenant Brandon Philip Newsom. Captain Ian Ray Omberdurfor. Captain Elizabeth Stacy Pennington, Distinguished Graduate. Major Cole R. Piper. Captain Stephanie G. Slimp. Major Kurt Townsend Sprenger II, United States Space Force. Masters of Science, Systems Engineering, Mr. Hans M. Henners. Mr. Nathan Harding Hodges. Captain Emily M. Trickler. The following students could not attend this evening's ceremony: Masters of Engineering, Applied Systems Engineering, Second Lieutenant Stephanie Grady Brown, United States Space Force, Mr. Joseph W. Natarian, Captain Paul Christopher Owens, Mr. Andrew M. Tupper, Mr. Christian Varardi, Federal Republic of Germany, Masters of Science and Systems Engineering, Major Ryan Burnt, United States Space Force.
Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics, Master of Science in Aeronautical Engineering, Second Lieutenant Andrew T. Bonavita, United States Space Force Distinguished Graduate. Second Lieutenant Caleb P. Degler. Second Lieutenant John Paul Delela. Second Lieutenant Matthew Dean Evans, United States Space Force. Mr. Joshua William Hunter. Second Lieutenant Andrew Paul Kaufman, winner of the Chancellor's Award and Russ Prize, the Dean's Award for this department and Distinguished Graduate. Second Lieutenant Shane Patrick Lindsay, United States Space Force. Captain Isaiah Neves Martinez. First Lieutenant Tia Massa. First Lieutenant Joseph Ace Puglisi. Second Lieutenant Joseph W. Rogers, winner of the AIAA Graduate Student Award for Service Excellence. Captain Rene D. Velazquez, United States Space Force. Captain Adam John Warren. Master of Science, Aeronautical Engineering, Captain Alexander Harold Hansen. First Lieutenant Cameron Stephen McMahon. Master of Science in Astronautical Engineering, First Lieutenant Ansel J. Cabrera, United States Space Force. Captain Colin W. Dart. Second Lieutenant David Giovanni Garcia, United States Space Force. Mr. Travis M. Grill, winner of the Lewis F. Polk Award. Second Lieutenant Stephanie Halsey, United States Space Force Distinguished Graduate. First Lieutenant Erica Higginbotham. Lieutenant Higginbotham is a dual degree graduate, also receiving a Master of Science in Aeronautical Engineering, winner of the General Bryce Poe II Award. Second Lieutenant Keely Murphy, United States Space Force. Second Lieutenant Caitlin Rose Roberts Wagner, United States Space Force. Captain Brian Michael Sargent, United States Space Force. Second Lieutenant Connor Nolan Slattery, United States Space Force. Captain Clint J. Spessard. Master of Science Astronautical Engineering, Second Lieutenant Audra J. Blazico. Mr. Christian Tyler Conkle. Master of Science Space Systems, Captain Andre Romualdo. Captain Romualdo is a dual degree graduate, also receiving a Master of Science in Systems Engineering. Captain Brooke N. Wagenblast, United States Space Force. The following graduate could not attend this evening's ceremony: Master of Science in Astronautical Engineering, Mr. Ryan Borst.
Doctoral hoods and diplomas will now be awarded. So, Doctor of Philosophy, dissertation, Risk Analysis and Mitigation of Artificial Space Debris Near the Moon by Nathan Roy Boone, advisor Lieutenant Colonel Robert A. Bettinger. Dissertation, Combustion Characteristics, Gravity Effects, and Ram Air Cooling in Compact Combustors by Kevin J. DeMarco, Jr., Captain. Dr. Mark Polanka, advisor.
hybrid cognitive model for machine agents in project and action teams by Major Joshua Lapso. Advisor, Dr. Gilbert Peterson.
Dissertation, Microstructural and Mechanical Investigations of Additively Manufactured Tungsten Alloys by Major Alexander LeSure. Advisor, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Chemnitz. Dissertation, a program for risk evaluation of orbital collision hazards to aid space policy development using historical conjunction data messages by Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Moomey, Advisor Lieutenant Colonel Brian Little. Dissertation, Influence of Initial Mass Entrainment on Early Nuclear Cloud Rise and Fallout Character by Stephanie Newscommon. Advisor, Dr. John McClory. Dissertation, Utilization of the System Engineering Design Process to Design and Test a Low-Cost Infectious Aerosol Control Mechanism for Patient Aeromedical Evacuation by Sarah Shighagi. Advisor, Dr. Jeremy Slagley. Dissertation, Mars, Multi-Agent Reinforcement Learning for Satellite Swarms by Major Nicholas J. Yielding. Advisor, Dr. Stephen Kane. The following graduate could not attend this evening's ceremony. Dissertation, Generalized Characterization of Biaxial Media Using Ultra-Wideband Multistatic Focused Beam System with Polarimetric Calibration by Jeffrey Paul Masman. Advisor, Dr. Michael Havrilla.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and families, on behalf of the Chancellor, I present to you the newest graduates of the Air Force Institute of Technology.